I'm going to show you here the alerts section of our technology. So the alerts, I'll show you how to add an alert, track an alert, and to make any action on an alert. So the first step will be to add an alert. So the client will go here to add a new alert, and he will click on it. It will be asked to pick his currency pairs. So obviously we're supporting all the major currencies here, but let's take a simple example. I'm a US based business and I'm doing business in Europe. I have to pay a supplier, let's say 100,000 euro 30 days from now. So I will have here the interbank rate. So this is the same rate as on xe.com, on Rwanda. I will be asked, alert me when the USD goes above or below what it is now. So let's say I want it to go above 1% because I have to pay euros and I want to pay cheaper. I will be asked if I want to link a bill. This is optional. So if I click on link bill, our system automatically recognizes that currency pair, the USD euro, and only shows the bills for that currency pair. So I could track a specific bill, or I could enter an amount to track. So for example, here I have to pay someone 100,000 euro, and for some reason I don't have it on my bills, for example. I will be entering the alert name, so pay suppliers in Europe 100,000 euro. Okay, and the expiration date, so today we're July 29th, for example. By August, let's do the 29th, I have to pay it. So I will do the expiration date by the 29th. How do I want to be notified? So either by text or email or both. And the frequency, so how often do I want it to get an alert if the currency goes above 1% of what it is now. Daily means once every 24 hours, weekly once every 7th day, and monthly, etc. So after I set up everything, I could create an alert. I'll have a confirmation here. The alert is created successfully with the name of the alert, the rate that I want it to be, when I'll be notified, how often, and how, and obviously the expiration date here. If I go back to all alerts here, I will see it here to the USD Euro tab. So we break it down into currency pairs. So each currency pair has different alerts, as you could see. Obviously, we could expand if we have more than 3, but we just show the 3 first one, so it's not too much. So now I could see exactly that alert, and I could see when it was created. And the interesting part is here, I could see, you see the live value now, so $111,390. That's how much it is if I were to pay now based on the rate right now. And if it does go up by 1%, the value of that payable will be 110,302. So obviously this is cheaper than what it is now. So if the currency does go up by 1% in my favor, I will pay my 100,000 euro worth in dollars, 110,000 versus 111,000. So I have a saving here about a little bit less than $1,000. So that will be an example of how that could be useful. Again, if for example the currency does get to 1% or the expiration is near and I just want to close it even though the currency didn't happen, I could just click here. I see my alert, and I could either lock a rate, which is to request a forward contract, or pay now, which is just like a transfer. So if I click pay now, our system will pick up the balance, the full balance, the 100,000 euro. That's what we're tracking. Obviously, we could edit that if I want to pay less or more or any amount. So for example, if I want to pay only 50,000 euros, it will load and request a code. So this is including all fees. So I will have 50,000 euro will cost me $59,280. I could say pay part of supply in Europe. Let's say 50% of my invoice. And then I will add a beneficiary. So the beneficiary, again, our system automatically recognizes the euro beneficiaries. If it's not there, I could add it manually, but let's say that it's there. So for example, I'm paying a company in France. Paying reason is pay for supplies, and then by when do I want it to be sent. So for example, I want it to be sent by, it doesn't really matter, but let's say August 2nd. I could add an attachment and I review my transaction. Again, I have a breakdown of what I'm paying for, the code, where the money goes to. This supplier will get an email that a payment is processing and heading his way, and I could slide to review transaction, and obviously the transaction will be completed, and that way I will have a track and a receipt for it, and I have paid that supplier 50,000 euro. So again, you have the receipt here, transaction completed, when the supplier will get his money, and again you have a breakdown of the transaction, and you could see an NCL transfer. It will show you to the transfer tab. So this is really what's going on with the alert. This is really the main part of it, and then there is obviously the filter. We could filter by bill attached, if there's a bill attached to it, by currency pair, new to old, etc. So for example, if I do bill attached, I see that symbol here. It means there is a bill attached to it. As you could see here, there's an invoice for that alert in that currency pair. And again, what I showed you before, you could do the same thing. You could decide to pay it from here, allow create an alert, etc. So that's really it for all the alerts. You have the two tabs. The reached are the one who are reached at least once, and all, which are the one who reached and didn't reach. And in the reach one, you see when it was reached, or our system tell the client when was the last time that alert reached. It could be days, month, hours, minutes, obviously depending on when it happens. So yeah, that's really it.